All right, what's going on YouTube, man? This your boy Kano from the gamer section. I'm back with a brand new interview today. You dig? So go ahead and introduce yourself to the people that may not know who you are.
Hi, my name is Chad Slomboski. I am the developer of Witherwood, a game on Steam,
Mhm.
open world survival craft game.
Dope, dope, dope. And I did come across the game a while back, you know what I'm saying, like on Twitter, because not just me, but the whole gamer section, we always do like these hosting situations on Twitter, to give all indie developers, they chance to shine and show off their games. And we came across your game a while back too. So I'm glad to see that it made a lot of progress from the last time we seen this game too.
Yeah, it's coming along pretty well. I'm,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
happy
oh
with
yeah.
where it is.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a phenomenal game on PC for sure. So let's get on with the question. Let's talk about this game. Let's talk about your upbringing of gaming. So, like, what inspired the core concept behind Witherwood, and how did the idea of living corrupted forest evolve during the development?
Um, so I've always been a gamer
Hmm.
and I've always loved nature. I'm a big nature person. Um, big into camping, big into before game development, I worked in wilderness therapy.
Hmm.
And so I would live like primitive out in the woods pretty much for like weeks on end.
Right, right.
Um, and while I was out there, uh, I had a lot of experiences that I guess influenced the concepts in the game. Like I don't know
Hmm.
if you've seen there's like this giant tree ant ram thing
Yeah.
in the game that like tries to stomp you, and I had like a nightmare out in the woods about this creature, so I just put it in the game.
Dang,
And so, yeah,
dang, dang. That's messed
yeah,
up, man. That's
yeah,
cold blooded. Dang. Wow.
yeah.
so So let me ask you this, right? So the mutation system is one of the game's standout mechanics. So how do you balance the feeling of becoming more powerful while also making players feel less human in the game?
Um, so a big thing for me in games is movement, especially with
Hmm.
like FPS and third person games. I'm really
Yeah.
big on movement, and so that's probably the biggest way to that I have the players feel less human. So you got the Raven mutation, so
Hmm.
you could like fly around and stuff. You could like launch yourself in the air.
Hmm.
And then you have the wolf mutation, which once you're mutated with that, you start to run on all fours when you run,
Dang.
like a wolf would.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so stuff like that.
Dang. That's very interesting. That's different. Kind of reminds me of a
Yeah.
couple of games that I know from back in the day, but it gives that sentiment of what this game is formulating to be. You dig?
Mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so let me ask you this. Can you explain to not just me, but to the audience that's actually looking at this interview of how sanity and hallucination mechanics impact gameplay and decision making throughout the experience?
That's a good question. Um, well, so the game's multiplayer,
Hmm.
and everybody can be having their own hallucinations that they won't be able to see each other's.
Hmm.
So that's one aspect. Another aspect is it's not always going to be like monsters that you see. Sometimes you'll just hallucinate a house in the middle of the woods that's technically not there, and you have to go up and like interact with it to see if it's real or not.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to incorporate like memories into hallucinations too.
Hmm.
That kind of tell the story of the character you're playing as. So
Right, right. I feel
yeah.
that. I feel that. So the different mutations, like the bears, the wolf, the ravens, fungi, etc., like they offer unique play styles. So, which mutation, in your opinion, was the most challenging to design and balance?
Um,
Uh huh. I come with them questions all the time. I get them every time, every time.
Um, that's a hard one. Maybe maybe the tree mutation. Um, the tree mutation doesn't offer a ton of different movement variabilities like the others.
Hmm.
Um, because trees just stay still, you know.
Yeah.
But so I had to really get creative of like what made the tree mutation unique.
Hmm.
Um, and I came up with some pretty cool abilities. So I think, but it was also going back to the question. It was OP at first because I gave him like a really overpowered heal
Hmm.
um, that I had to really tone down and stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. So, how dynamic is the world of Witherwood? Like, will players actually notice the forest itself changing over time based on progression or actual player actions?
Um, yes, you don't really see it in the demo, which is out on Steam, but
Hmm.
yeah, that's the plan. There's going to be like a biome system, a progression system, similar to Valheim, I'd say.
Okay.
So, yeah. And
Okay.
yeah, the things are just going to be more mutated the deeper you go. So,
Okay. Okay. See, I be hitting with my haymaker questions. You see that? You see how I'm getting them? You know what I'm saying? That's haymaker questions I'm presenting. So let me see. You say combat appears highly versatile in rolling, blocking, and poison effects and movement-based gameplay. So what were the biggest influence behind the combat system?
um, so I used to play Overwatch, and something I loved about the game was that most heroes had some kind of unique movement feature, you know?
Hmm.
Some could fly, some could just dash, you know? Um, so I wanted to have something like that. Um, sorry, can you say the question again? I think I
The question
misunderstood.
is, what were the biggest influences behind the combat system?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, so Overwatch, trying to think.
Yeah, take your time, man.
Hmm.
I be coming with them questions.
I mean, it probably was just Overwatch. I haven't played a ton of games with movement options quite like my own game,
Hmm.
besides Overwatch.
Yeah,
So I guess I could just say Overwatch.
that's all good. It's all good. So, like survival horror games often rely on tension and atmosphere. So, how does Witherwood keep players consistently uneasy beyond traditional jump scares?
Um, the your insanity, how insane your person is,
Hmm.
one of um the more insane you are determines what music plays. Like there's some really freaky, creepy music that starts playing once you're like really insane.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one way. I mean, just basic hallucinations. The hallucinations ramp up the more insane you go.
Hmm.
So, like, they get scarier.
I got you. I got you. So now, when it comes to like crafting and base building, it's basically a key element of survival. So, how important is preparation in surviving the deeper parts of the forest?
Um, it's pretty important. Well, right now in the demo, it's not as important to make a base, but when the game releases, it's going to be pretty important. Um, because in the demo, there's just one biome, but when the game releases, there's going to be like teleporters, like in Valheim, so you would want a home base, so to speak. Um, and the creatures will be able to like affect your base,
Hmm.
um, and raid it too. So like that's going to be important. I'd say the most important thing, like way to prep in Witherwood is to upgrade your gear and to mutate. Like those are the two most important things. More important than base building, I'd say. So
Got you, got you. All right, so there's a phrase that's in this game called "Not everything you see is real," and it's actually intriguing, right? So,
Mhm.
can players trust anything in Witherwood, including NPCs, environments, or even their own abilities?
Um, they probably only trust their own abilities. There is one NPC that I'm planning to keep separate from hallucinations that you'll always be able to trust.
Hmm.
Her name is the Ancient Spirit of the Forest, and you can just kind of like sometimes find her. She's kind of a rare spawn, but yeah.
Got you. I
Uh,
got you.
no, yeah, you can't trust much. Even the trees. I'm going to be adding a feature here very soon where like even illusory trees will spawn, if you're
Hmm.
going insane. So.
I got you for sure, for sure. So, how does progression work in the game? Like, are the players are encouraged to, you know, specialize in certain mutations or experiment with hyper builds? Like, how can you go about that?
So the equipment's actually really impactful. Going back to that being like one of the more important ways to prep for the next biome.
Hmm.
Um, that's one way you build your character is you can kind of choose which equipment you want and like what features you want to add to your character. Um, but yeah, mutation is an important factor too, especially if you're playing with friends.
Hmm.
So I wanted every different mutation to have like a team ability, like
Hmm.
something that will affect your teammates and stuff. So like the wolf, it grants haste to everybody, so everybody runs faster now and like
Hmm.
uses less stamina. And then the tree mutation, it heals people.
Okay.
The insect mutation, like just completely nullifies fall damage. Um,
Hmm.
if you have like a buff on or something. So there's various things they all do. So
Hmm. It's
yeah.
different. It's different. I like that. I
Mm-hmm.
like that. I like that. So, all right, let's talk about the visual and tonality of it. So, Witherwood has like a dark, unsettling identity, right? So, like, what games, films, or other media outlets like helped shape the atmosphere and, the creature designs? Like, what influenced that?
Um, I've always been an artist, and I've always kind of drawn more dark, twisted, nature-based things. So I guess
Hmm.
most of it just comes from me, um, and like my time that I spent in nature.
All right.
Um, yeah. I mean, the real truth is, so I have like night terrors. Do you know what night terrors are?
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
So I have like crazy night terrors. And so a lot of the things that I would see in my night terrors, I just put into the game. In fact, the my night terrors influenced the whole like hallucination and like going insane aspect of the game. So
Oh, I
yeah.
see. I see.
Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. That's what's up, though,
Hmm.
man. I
Yeah.
can feel that vibe of what you're saying with it for sure.
Mm.
All right, so let me ask you this: like, for players who enjoy replayability, like, what systems are in place to make each playthrough feel different from the last playthrough?
That's a great question. So in the demo, there's only one map. You can pretty much only do the same thing, except you can maybe build different if you're playing the demo. But when the game releases,
Hmm.
it's gonna have a completely procedural world every time. So
Hmm.
like landmarks, NPCs, and POIs, they're all gonna be like scattered differently each time you play through.
Right.
And the loot that drops from creatures is randomized.
Hmm.
So you kind of don't know what you get. There's gonna be some like really rare items. So yeah.
Okay, for sure, for sure. So, like, what do you hope players take away from Witherwood, and like once they actually survive its horrors and sacrifice parts of themselves along the way? Like, what can players really can expect from this game?
Sorry, could you ask that one more time? It looks like it cut out for a sec.
Okay, I said, like, what do you hope us gamers take away from Witherwood once they survive its horrors and sacrifice parts of themselves along the way in the game?
Um, I kind of hope that there are some lessons potentially to be learned from Witherwood,
Hmm.
like a psychological level.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I want it to like on occasion hold a mirror up to people,
Hmm.
um, to have people look inward. And we haven't really touched on it, but there's a lot of lore with Witherwood, a lot of story. Um, and I was a writer. I wrote a novel before I built this game, and so in fact, this game takes place in the world that I created. Um,
Okay. Okay.
and so yeah, I guess it's hard to pin down a single thing that I would like to the players to take away from it. Um,
Okay. So let me ask you this: like, to the people that don't know, like, where does Witherwood take place, and what is the who's the protagonist in the game? Because people may not know that.
yeah, so um, it takes place in the forests of Witherwood, which is a section of the Greater Relent Forest, which takes
Hmm.
place in this world called Bountifeus.
Hmm.
Um, and you play as a Trotolite tribesman who was born with this curse. They call it a curse. Really, it's a psychic connection to a creature in Witherwood. But
Hmm.
um, what ends up happening with this curse in the tribe, when people become adults, at some point, if they have this curse, they will just get up in bed one night and they'll sleepwalk into the woods and they'll just never be seen again.
Hmm.
And so that's where you all start as your character. As you wake up in Witherwood, you have just slept, walked into the woods. This wisp wakes you up. So yeah.
Got you. I got you. I got you. So besides like some of the other gameplay mechanics, like what type of weapons do you have in the game, and what type of level up abilities can you obtain within this game?
So right now there are bows, axes, scythes. There's dual wielding, all kinds of swords, claws, shields.
Hmm.
Um, I'm probably gonna add guns at some point. Um, I know at first it probably sounds like it doesn't match the vibe, um, but that's a whole nother. There's a lot of lore I'd have to go into, but
Hmm.
and then as far as the abilities go, so the Raven ability, the Raven is all about movement. So all of his abilities revolve around movement. So
Hmm.
he has this strike with his sword that he does that like launches him backwards and does a bunch of damage in front of him, or he like launches forward and slices through whoever's right
Hmm.
in front of him. The tree, he can like stomp the ground and affect everybody around him. He could heal the allies. The insect, okay, the one that's one of my most favorites, probably most unique, is the fungal mutation.
Yeah.
So in the game, there's poison. Um, so poison really affects the player. It's horrible. The fungal mutation, the initial mutation cuts all the damage from poison in half, but
Hmm.
then every subsequent mutation into the fungal mutation, um, it eventually makes it so poison actually heals you.
Right.
And so that's uh, that's kind of fun. And he has abilities that kind of go along with that too. Like he can poison an area, including himself. So like maybe low level fungal mutators um, take damage from that, but like the higher ones, they're actually healing from the poison.
Hmm.
Um, so and he's got this like teleport ability. He's got some pretty unique stuff. Yeah.
Okay. 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 That's different. That's different. So speaking on the multiplayer side, like people may want to know, are there plans in the future for single player aspects of it, like a deep a driven story aspect of it, or is just mainly multiplayer for the future tensions of the game?
It'll probably be like 7 Days to Die, where you can play a story alongside multiplayer,
Hmm.
and you can kind of just do whichever one you want. It'll probably be that kind of vibe. But yeah, there's definitely going to be a story. So,
All right. Well, you just answered the $1 billion question right there. So we see how this game's coming. So like when will this game actually release, and like what platforms will it be on?
um, I'm aiming for 2027 Q2.
Okay.
Um, and it kind of depends on the success of like what platforms I would put it on. If it's well accepted, pretty successful,
Hmm.
I'd be down to put it on Xbox and PS5 and stuff. Um, I'm trying to think. Yeah, right now it's only on PC.
Yeah, it's going to do very well. It's going to end up being multi-platform. I can see it now because you're doing something
Mm,
different with the game. So I can see it being multi-platform. Just give it a little bit of time on PC because it's going to generate a lot of talk.
yeah.
And like I said, and it's going to be a part of the gamer section's indie game showcase too. So like give it some
Mm,
time. It's gonna definitely pick up a lot of steam. People are going to really gravitate to it. It's going to end up being on a multi-platform genre. So mark my words, it's going to be a multi-platform release down the road. Watch.
I hope so, man.
Oh man, it will be, man. Watch, it will be because even we got the gameplay showing right now as we are doing this
Hmm.
interview. People are going to really gravitate to it because it's different, it's unique. It brings out something that's going to stand out, and people to really want to think about what they're doing in the forest and how they want to mutate. It's a lot within this game that's different that could stand out. So I
Yeah.
definitely can see this game going further than what people may think as it is right now, but it's going to go further. It's going to definitely gravitate to a lot of people, and they're going to want it requested on multi platforms. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
I appreciate that, man. Yeah.
man, just telling the truth, man, just telling the truth. So, like, final question of this interview. So, like, where can people find you on all the social media platforms? Like, where they can harass you about this game?
So I have a YouTube, Witherwood Official, Instagram, same Witherwood Official.
Hmm.
Um, on Twitter X, it's just Chad Slam or Cunning Craft. So
Hmm.
I created Cunning Craft LLC, and that's the company we're releasing this game under. And oh, yes, and I have a TikTok as well, Witherwood underscore official, I believe.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Oh man,
that's
for
about
sure.
it.
For sure. Since seeing this game, you said the demo's out now. I might as well go ahead and download and give it a try myself.
Yeah, man, let me know what you think.
Oh man, for sure. I definitely got you on that. But there you have it, folks. You know what I'm saying? This is a brand new interview, I'm saying, on the gamer section, man. I appreciate your time, taking your time out to, request the interview. Not request the interview, for us requesting the interview to you. You know what I'm saying? And we
Yeah.
appreciate the hard work that you're doing for this game. And we hope to see it, grow and become a bigger game on bigger platforms for the future, man.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you and I appreciate the opportunity. So thanks.
Man, ain't no thing but a chicken wing, man. Appreciate that though, man. So with that being said, to everybody that's watching, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the post notification bell for when we drop videos. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah.